Hello, my dear night owl. I'm Jan, and I welcome you to have a seat in this warm chair by the fireside. Tonight, we'll take a journey into the quiet heart and rolling hills of the Shire, where the hobbits share stories from ancient times. So get comfortable, relax, and keep listening as you drift off to sleep. Good night. Long ago, before even the oldest hobbit could remember, there was a time when the borders of the Shire were not as peaceful as they are now. Dark things stirred in the forests beyond, and the hobbits, who preferred their quiet lives, lived in a state of unease. Few spoke of it openly, but there was a fear that one day the darkness would creep into their peaceful hills. Yet, even in these uncertain times, there was hope. For hidden in the heart of the Shire, under a great oak tree, older than any living creature, lay the slumbering spirit of a guardian, an ancient being that had watched over the Shire for generations. The guardian was not of hobbit kind. It was a creature of the earth and stars, with the body of a stag and eyes like glowing embers. It was said that this being, known only as Elendil in the old Elvish tongue, had once roamed the forests alongside the firstborn elves. As time passed, Elendil chose to remain in the Shire, taking root in its peaceful lands. Bound by an ancient promise to protect the hobbits from the evils of the world. But over time, as the Shire grew quiet and uneventful, the hobbits forgot about their protector. The tales of Elendil became nothing more than whispers. Stories told only by those who still believed in the old magic. And so, the guardian slept beneath the oak, waiting for a time when it would be needed once more. One autumn evening, as the sun set over the distant hills, a strange thing occurred. A cold wind swept through the Shire, rattling the branches of the oak tree, and a shadow passed over the land. In the depths of the forest that bordered the Brandywine River, something dark began to stir. Merry and Pippin, two young and adventurous hobbits, were the first to notice the strange happenings. They had been playing near the edge of the woods, chasing after rabbits and picking berries, when they heard a low rumbling sound. The ground beneath their feet trembled, and the trees seemed to shudder as if whispering to one another. "What do you think it is, Pip?" Merry asked, his voice just above a whisper. Pippin looked around, eyes wide. "I don't know, but I don't like it." The two hobbits turned to leave the woods, but as they did, the darkness seemed to close in around them. The trees loomed larger, their branches twisting and reaching like long, shadowy fingers. A chill settled in the air, and the distant sound of footsteps, heavy and slow, echoed through the forest. That night, the wind howled through the Shire, and even the bravest of the hobbits stayed inside by their fires. But in the village of Hobbiton, beneath the ancient oak tree, something stirred. Elendil, the guardian of the Shire, awoke. The great stag rose from its slumber, its eyes glowing like embers in the dark. It shook its antlers, which shimmered with a faint light, and with a quiet grace, stepped out from under the oak tree. The magic that bound Elendil to the Shire hummed softly in the night air. It could sense the shadow moving through the forest, creeping closer to the hobbit homes. Without a sound, Elendil began to walk, its hooves making no mark upon the grass. As it moved through the Shire, the land responded to its presence. The flowers seemed to bloom brighter, the trees stood taller, and the streams shimmered with a soft glow. Wherever the guardian stepped, the magic of the Shire awoke, rising to protect the land and its people. Merry and Pippin, though frightened, had made it back to the village by the time. They ran to tell Bilbo Baggins, the wisest hobbit they knew, of the strange happenings in the forest. But when they arrived at Bag End, they found Bilbo standing outside, looking towards the woods. "There's something stirring in the old forest," Bilbo said quietly. His eyes narrowed. "I have felt it before, a long time ago." Before they could ask what he meant, a soft glow appeared in the distance. The hobbits turned to see the great stag, Elendil, approaching the edge of the village. Its antlers shimmered with an otherworldly light, and the ground beneath its feet seemed to hum with magic. "Elendil," Bilbo whispered in awe, "the guardian has awakened." Without a word, the guardian turned towards the forest, where the shadow lurked. The hobbits watched as it stepped into the trees, the light from its antlers pushing back the darkness. Deep in the woods, Elendil confronted the shadow, a dark creature of old, drawn by the peace and quiet of the Shire, seeking to consume its light. The creature snarled and hissed, its form shifting like smoke, but the guardian stood firm. With a single strike of its antlers, Elendil banished the darkness. A great light burst forth from the stag, and the trees swayed as if sighing in relief. The shadow let out one final cry before disappearing into the night, leaving the Shire peaceful once more. By dawn, the wind had calmed, and the chill had lifted. The hobbits awoke to find the Shire bathed in a soft golden light. The flowers bloomed brighter than ever, and the trees whispered softly in the breeze. Merry and Pippin, along with Bilbo, stood by the old oak tree, where Elendil had returned to rest. The great stag lowered itself beneath the tree once more, its eyes closing as it drifted back into its slumber. "Will it wake again?" Pippin asked. Bilbo smiled. "Only when the Shire needs it most." And so, the legend of Elendil, the guardian of the Shire, lived on, passed down through the generations. Though the hobbits might forget the old magic in times of peace, the guardian would always be there, watching over them, bound by its ancient promise to protect the simple folk of the Shire. For in the quietest corners of the world, there is magic far older and greater than any can imagine. And in the Shire, that magic still lingers, quiet but enduring. The end. If you have come this far, maybe you're already going to sleep right now. Let me know in the comment section, did you like it or not? Good night, my dear night owl.